राधा कृष्ण प्राणमुरा जुगल किशोरा कालिंदीर कोले किली कदमेरवाला रतना बेडीरो पारा बुसाबो दुजा राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोरा जुगल किशोरा जीवाने मराने गति प्यारो नहीं मोरा राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोरा जुगल किशोरा श्याम गौरी अंगी दिवो चंदनी रघु चमारा दुलाबो कबे हिरी मुख चंद्रा राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोरा जुगल किशोरा जीवाने मराने गति यारो नहीं मोरा राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोरा जुगल किशोरा गतिया मला तीर्माला दिवदोहर आधारे तुलिया दिवो कर्पूरतामुते राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोरा जुगल किशोरा जीवाने मराने गति यारो नहीं मोरा राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोरा जुगल किशोरा ललिता विशाखादि जट सखी वृंदा अज्ञाया करीबो सेवा चरणारविंद राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोरा जुगल किशोरा जीवने मराने गति यारो नहीं मोरा राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोरा जुगल किशोरा श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु दासी रघुदास सेवाभिलाषा करे नरोत्तम दास राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोरा जुगल किशोरा जीवाने मराने गति यारो नहीं मोरा राधा कृष्ण प्राण मोरा जुगल किशोरा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जय श्रील प्रभुपाद। गौर निताय प्रेमानंद। हरि 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 बोल। थैंक यू माता जी। कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण माता जी। प्रणाम माता जी। वेलकम माता जी। हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna.
I'm sorry माता जी। Apologies माता जी।
For what?
I didn't see माता जी when joined.
No, that's
Welcome
okay.
you.
We were all listening to the Kirtan. Yeah.
Thank you माता जी।
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Mataji, you want us to share the screen or?
If you can share, then good, Mataji. Please, you can share.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna to all devotees, welcoming all of you to Shrimad Bhagavatam, 9:30 English Shrimad Bhagavatam. And today we are continuing with Canto 3, Chapter 22. And today we're going to see from shlokas 18 to 20. Okay, so quick prayer before we start. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टकी मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंगायते गिरिं यत्कृपातम् अहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं हरिः ओं तत्सत् ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणि प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. Yes, thank you Padma Mataji. Yes, indeed, it was a very nice kirtan. Thank you Suma Mataji for that kirtan.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranam Mataji. Shilpa Mataji, one announcement Mataji. Shilpa Mataji, I've made you host Mataji.
Yes,
You
Mataji.
can make me the co-host if you want any
Yes,
help.
Mataji.
Mataji will be here.
Yes,
Hare Krishna.
sure, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So we'll read the shloka 18. Ansuya Mataji will read the shloka. Vasudha Mataji will read the translation. Yes, please.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Tam prarthayantim lalamam asevita shri charanairadrishtam vatsam manor uchchapada swasaram konanumanyeta buddho abhyatam. Thank you Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranamati.
Hare
Translation, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. What wise man would not welcome her, the very ornament of womanhood, the beloved daughter of Swayambhuva Manu and sister of Uttanapada? Those who have not worshipped the gracious feet of the goddesses of fortune cannot even perceive her. Yet she has come of her own accord to seek my hand. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, Hare Krishna. Yeah, thank you, devotees. So here we see how Kartama Muni performed austerity for 10,000 years, but then he's asking a very mundane boon, or saying that he wants to marry, and how the Lord says Swayambhu Manu with his very beautiful daughter Devahuti will come, and then he can accept her hand. And here Kardama Muni is glorifying Devahuti's beauty, that who would be, it would be really foolish to reject such an offer. Also, if we remember in the previous verses that we will see, I think further verses we will see that Swayambhu, no, I think I'm sorry, previous verses. Swayambhu Manu says one should not reject something which is coming off on its own accord, right? So, yeah, considering all that and how beautiful Devahuti is, it is not just about the beauty, right? When for us, being conditioned soul, like we can very easily relate with that Gandharva who saw Devahuti and fell off from the aeroplane, from the Vimana, right? What do I mean by saying we can relate, right? 13th. Yeah, thank you, Mataji, Suma Mataji, for that. So, like when we see anything beautiful, anything, the first thing is, oh wow, it is so beautiful. Yeah, we made that expression, but what is behind that expression? It is so beautiful. I'm seeing it. I'm enjoying it. Or if it's something very beautiful dress, say, then we want to wear it. Or if we look, get a smell of good food, then we want to taste it and things like that. So this is what to say, conditioned way of thinking, right? And then that Gandharva, right? When like enamored by Devhuti's beauty, that he fell off from the Vimana, right? But this is mostly, most of us, more so I'm speaking of myself, we are on this platform. From that, we have to come to the aspect of anything beautiful. First aspect is, Krishna says in the last shloka of the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, what does he say? Anything beautiful, anything awesome you see is just a fragment of mind. So the first thing is, it has to remind us of Krishna. If the thing that is made is so beautiful, how much more beautiful will the creator be, right? That is one aspect. Then the next aspect is, how can I use it for Krishna? Because ultimately, we have to get out of this aspect of trying to be the enjoyer, right? How can I use it so that Krishna's senses are pleased, right? So we have to, get out of this conditioning of that this is nice, this is safe, this is this, how I can use it. See, first step, maybe grossly we will give up on that, right? When we may buy something and then we come and offer and that thing. But then on the subtle, on the mind aspect, it takes more, more beating, more sadhana to come to that platform that I am not the enjoyer that is there. How can I use it for Krishna, right? And then another aspect that we can, the acharyas want to say from the shloka, like Janma Aishwarya Shruta Shri, right? If somebody is rich, beautiful, is wise, and also Shruta Shri, and born in a good parentage. Now, if you take Devahuti for that matter, she is born to Swayambhu Manu. She is beautiful, that we discussed. Of course, she is wise, and being a king's daughter, obviously she is rich. But then you see the choice she is making of whom she wants to spend her life with. She's choosing Kardama Muni. Why? Because the Vedic way of life, this is what the daughters were taught earlier, that it is all these things, even though one possesses, a person who is spiritually elevated, that is what is more a more suitable person to spend a life with, because these things can come and go, whereas a spiritually elevated person, right, person is elevated, the husband will be serving the Lord, and then he will make the wife also serve the Lord. So far contrast with what we see now, right? Neither the boy nor the girl are being taught of the actual importance of life today, right? We are all in this rat race: study well, earn well. Well, that will automatically happen as per each of our karma. People will earn whatever they have to earn, irrespective of whether they study well, don't study well. Even the education that they get, the grades that they go through, if they're getting into IIT, all this now with Srila Prabhupada's mercy, we understand that this is already ordained, right? With some little effort, this can be got. But then one has to really make a choice to be Krishna conscious, right? Uh, uh, and making that choice is the wisest choice, right? That is what we understand in our sadhana bhakti. And then another aspect of also that we can learn from Devhuti is how in the Vedic times people were not very concerned about so concerned about bodies. They did take care of themselves. Does not mean here that we don't take care of our bodies, but then how they understood the aspect of the futility of the body is temporary. Example, like people, when the husbands passed away, imagine the wives used to enter the fire with the husbands, right, to reach the same destination as the husband. I mean, that was what was ordained, which is all become topsy-turvy because of the modern thinking. So let's not get into discussion. What I'm trying to drive home here is that, mm, they very easily gave up the body, not just theirs. If you see the Kshatriyas, the mothers and wives, right? They used to, we see them putting tilak and then sending them. It says either you win and come, or let your dead body come, right? We see this aspect even now, mostly people who get into the army, even now, young people who get into the army. But then this was much more in all sections of life, in the Vedic times, that they realized how temporary this body is, right? So, when I was going through this, nowadays, when people, the youngsters, when they get married and then they have children, right? We have in the third month, mostly in the third month, it may vary region to region, we get into this aspect of piercing the ears for children, boy or girl, right? Then now I find so many couples, young couples, no, it is very painful for the child, first thing. And then, I find it very funny. Every other month, they are going to the doctor and getting them, inoculated with so many pricks, right? But why I'm mentioning this is, all these points, the ears, the nose, these are acupuncture points, actually, which increases the baby's eyesight, and then, the nerves and these things. So how much we have got the wrong end of things in the present day scenario, right? So these so many things that we can learn from Shrimad Bhagavatam. One is the story aspect. The other aspect is how much they in the Vedic way of life, how much we realize that we are not this body but the soul, right? Even not just during the end. If we see, take Devhuti's example, that even the life she led, if you will see further how much she gave herself up, in all respects, to please Kardama Muni, who was a great sage, who was a great realized soul. Okay? So, with these few points, I wanted to share for this shloka. So, we'll read the next shloka. Sudha Mataji will read the shloka, and Sarvana Prabhu will read the translation. Hare Krishna Mataji, Tanda Pranam.
अतो भजिष्ये समयेन साध्वी यावत् तेजो विभ्रातात्मनो मे अतो धर्मान् पारमहंस्य मुख्यान् शुक्लप्रोक्तान् बहुमन्ये विहिंसान्. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Tanat Pranam. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Therefore, I shall accept this chastity girl as my wife on the condition that after she bears semen from my body, I shall accept the life of devotional service accepted by the most perfect human beings. That process was described by Lord Vishnu. It is free from envy. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Shilpa Mataji. Kindly spotlight Mataji Mataji. She has not been spotlighted.
I have spotlighted her. I have put her as pin.
No, spotlight should be Srimad Bhagavatam. Mataji is perfect. Thank you, Shilpa
Because,
Mataji,
yeah,
and Shri
sharing
Mataji for
screen,
this kind words.
Mataji will come in the side only if I share the screen.
Mataji has is in two devices, I think. So only one we
Yeah,
could
so I
see.
have
We cannot see.
selected where I can see Mataji's face.
No,
But that will
that's
come in
okay.
small only because I'm sharing the screen.
Yeah, the spotlight here is Srimad Bhagavatam, Mataji.
Hare.
Let's keep
No,
other things,
Mataji,
not
we all
put
need to see
spotlight.
your,
Yeah.
see you, Mataji. Hare
And
Krishna.
Sarvanan Prabhu, that is chaste. Chaste girl. There was some mispronunciation there. Therefore, I shall accept this chaste girl. Chaste girl means one who is very obedient. Yeah, so we just wanted to say that. Okay, so there are plenty of points Srila Prabhupada shares in this shloka. First of all, Kardama Muni, who's a celibate, right? Then, this aspect of him saying that he will accept, but then till she bears a child, right? So he is already making his retirement plan even before he, got into the Grihastha ashram, right? So, which is giving us a very, what to say, very contrast scenario of what we see the present day thing. Like Prabhupada in several lectures says, people in politics, they don't, or any job for that matter, they don't get out of it until they are kicked out of it or until they leave their body, until they die, right? Much against what the Vedic ways say. The whole aspect of Varnashrama, I mean, the Vanaprastha is like once the children are of one age and all our responsibilities towards them is over, ideally, Bhagavatam says 50 years. There's nothing that we have got to do with the samsara or with the grihastha, the life, right? So now, and also Prabhupada says neither parents nor children are trained in Krishna consciousness, right? Here he's talking about Prabhupada emphasizes the point about the children, how children are born, right? And two types of children with a ray of Lord, or one who's educated in Krishna consciousness to spread Krishna consciousness, right? So what Srila Prabhupada is saying here is, why this aspect. Otherwise, when a man and woman unites, right, for anything other than procreating Krishna conscious children, it becomes against the scriptures. And I'm quoting the scriptures, right? When Krishna says, I am Kama, which is as per the scriptures. What do we mean by against scriptures? The very aspect of uniting a man and woman uniting makes the couple feel that they are the enjoyers and they are the controllers, which we are neither. But only aspect, the license given in a Grihastha ashram is because they want to, produce Krishna conscious children. So that is the only time when they can unite, right? And also Rishabhadev in 5.5.15, Canto 5, chapter 5, Shloka 18, right? Rishabhadev talks about who, how, what is the criteria for one to be a mother, a father, a guru? What is the criteria? Like if we see the examples, Bali Maharaj rejected Shukracharya, his own guru, which is, very alarming to note. But then why did he reject? Because Shukracharya was thinking, he said, don't give these whatever you want to offer to Vamana, because he is Vishnu, he will take away everything from you. But actually, if you listen to the Acharyas, purport on these things, Shukracharya is worried. Now, if Bali Maharaj loses everything, then where will he get his income from? You see, so that is what he was worried about. So he said. Then, when is a mother rejected? Guru na sasyat. I mean, that is the shloka there. Canto 5, chapter 5, shloka 18. Right? Yeah. Guru na sasyat, swajano na sasyat, pita na syat, janani na sasyat, daivam na tat. Okay. Thank you, Suma Mataji, for that. Now, who, as a mother, even as a mother, who rejected? Anybody wants to take a guess? Who rejected the mother? Father, we know, it's easy to remember. Hiranyakashipu was Prahlad rejected Hiranyakashipu. Rejected in the sense,
Bharat
yeah,
Maharaj
Bharat
Mataji.
Maharaj.
yeah, Bharat Maharaj. Yes, how he rejected. He said, he would He was so angry that he was ready to even kill her, Kaikeyi, right? So, and wife also rejected. Anybody knows example where the wife is rejected?
Our what is it? Mataji, that
Srila Prabhupada.
Yes,
no,
Srila
yeah,
Prabhupada himself rejected in this sense. Yeah, after she sold Bhagavatam that he translated for tea biscuits, he said,
Ja-
"Now it's time for me to go." Yes.
yeah,
Who else?
Janamejaya also, no? Like, I'm sorry, now what is Parikshit's mother was rejected by his father.
Oh, this I know. Ramanujacharya also. Ramanujacharya rejects his wife because
Okay.
she is also an obstacle for Krishna consciousness. So,
Mataji, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as such, rejected in the sense, see, Chaitanya
He to become
Mahaprabhu's
sannyasa, yeah.
Leela is
To
a
take
little
the
different.
sannyasa.
Why he took sannyasa ashrama, that's totally I mean, as such, he did not reject in the sense. He took sannyasa ashrama. Maybe some other time we can discuss more so that he can give mercy to even the impersonalist. That is what says the Chaitanya Charitamrita, right? But outright rejection we can see in Ramanujacharya, Srila Prabhupada, then Prahlad, his father, and other things. So now, are we discussing this that so that we also get into this aspect of rejecting spouses, children, father? No. The import is like how we should consider these examples, that if it is that extreme, right, that one can also reject. But then, of course, under the guidance of the guru and senior guru. But more so practically for us, how is it? How should we, conduct ourselves in our homes or in whatever places that we go? Somehow, bring people to Krishna consciousness. For that, first we have to be Krishna conscious, right? We have to keep our sadhana as much as possible, chanting, trying to chant defenselessly, and things like do our sadhanas, right? And then how can we help others? Various ways. For some people, it can be just prasadam. For some people, don't say anything, just give a good hearing. Then, or then there can be even case where you make them just feel wanted, because most of us are hankering for two things. There's a very beautiful lecture by His Holiness Sachidanand Maharaj. The whole lecture of 1.5 hours, I think more than 1.5 hours. He said the whole world is aspiring for two things. One is to love and one is to be loved. And very beautifully he brought out that point. So if we can do that, and how should we do it? See, when we talk of love, that means without expectation. The moment there is an expectation, then it is not love, it is lust, Srila Prabhupada says. So if we can do this, with the people that we meet, it can be at home, it can be outside, whatever way, right? Then it helps to bring people to Srila Prabhupada's mission. And then also, we spoke about how in different ashramas, like Grihastha, after being a Grihastha as a Vanaprasthi, Kardama Muni said that he will want to leave after, right? You see, the question, if we really listen to Srila Prabhupada's and various acharyas' lectures, it is not that what ashrama or what varna we are in, right? Srila Prabhupada makes a very profound statement. He recently, it was Vyas Puja of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, and he was quoting Srila Prabhupada. He said, Srila Prabhupada said, I'm quoting, I want my Grihastha devotees to be Paramahamsas. Now, this may look contrary, because contradicting. Because Paramahamsas is something that is connected or related with the sannyasis, right? Not with grihasthas. But then what Srila Prabhupada meant was, right? he says the brahmacharis and sannyasis are indeed glorious. But my grihastha couples who are practicing Krishna consciousness, right, to complete extent if they are practicing, and they have everything to enjoy. I mean, they have their spouses, it can be the wife or husband. Even with something that they have, they can enjoy. But in spite of that, they are completely practicing Krishna conscious. You know, such grihasthas are more glorious than my sannyasi disciples, Srila Prabhupada said. Right? So it is bringing out the aspect of, that is why it is called Krishna consciousness. What is our consciousness? Right? It does help being in a brahmachari ashram or sannyasa ashram. It can help, or it can be a deterrent also, because it is very difficult in the present day scenario. It is really difficult. You meet so many people, and then the whole environment is, many a times we will decide we will not do this. I will just follow this. But then, in some way or somehow other, even if we don't get out of the house, there can be some obstacle. Okay, forget anything external. Our own mind can be an obstacle. So it is really difficult. So Prabhupada is glorifying. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, told the Purna Brahmana that he wants. That's how you see in ISKCON, lot of grihastha couples, right? Even though being grihasthas, they follow Krishna consciousness to the complete extent. That Srila Prabhupada says such grihastha couples are more glorious than sannyasis. Not that the sannyasi we are trying to belittle the sannyasis or something, but we're saying the practical scenario for the present day age. So, and then also another very nice aspect Srila Prabhupada brings out in the purport is, he says Paramahamsas are obviously non-envious because they have kind of given their complete life. He says in the Grihastha ashram, mostly grihasthas, they get into this aspect of competition and envy and other things. But they become nirmatsaranam. When they are in devotional service. So, if you take any aspect in the society, it can be at home, it can be the nation, it can be the state, it can be an individual. The only solution for all the problems is Krishna consciousness. Because Krishna consciousness brings us to the aspect of being human. In fact, Srila Prabhupada says, one may accept wife and beget children, but one should not beget children like cats and dogs. Right? Because then there'll be no difference. So that is where we understand why all these rules are given in our Vedic scriptures as human beings, that we should have this aspect of Garbhadan Samskar. We should educate our younger generation prior to marriage. Actually, after marriage also, things can go topsy-turvy. Like how, nowadays, the girl and boy talk so many things about their future, if this is there, that is there. But then with that, we should also include this aspect of why, being selfless love between the two individuals is what is going to take them forward. And then we will definitely see the lesser number of divorces. Now, so many youngsters that we meet, that I have heard, they don't even want to get into this Grihastha ashram because they say, what is the use? Like, it is very difficult. They find it difficult for themselves to adjust, and others also to adjust. So without Krishna consciousness, the main frame where the Grihastha ashram, is falling apart. So it takes it's a lot of responsibility for preachers to give this to many people, especially the younger ones, right? So the last shloka for today. Radhika Mataji will read the shloka and Prashanti Mataji will read the translation.
Hare Krishna Mataji, can you hear me?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Sure. Sorry, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Yato bhavad vishwamidam vichitram samstasayet samstasyate yatra cha bhavad tishtate prajapatinam patiresha mayam param pramanam Bhagavan Anantah. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Mataji Dandavat Pranam. Translation by Prabhupada Ki Jai. The highest authority for me is the unlimited Supreme Personality of Godhead, from whom this wonderful creation emanates and in whom its sustenance and dissolution rest. He is the origin of all Prajapatis, the personalities meant to produce living entities in this world. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, the previous chapters, we see how Lord Brahma, actually Maitreya Vidura Samvada, the talks between them, starts with how did creation happen, like how Brahma first, created, how Brahma himself, how he was created, and ignorance was created, and then various other entities were created, and then Brahma created Narada Muni and the Kumaras to populate the world, but then they became, they took the highest order. They said they don't want to get into this. And then how Lord Shiva, because of anger, Lord Shiva came out of forehead of Lord Brahma. And then how Lord Shiva created, the Bhutaganas and other things. And then Brahma had to create all the sages, right? And the Prajapatis were created to populate the world, right? So in that this thing, we have Kardamuni also. So why Kardamuni? Even though his father is Brahma, he's saying my highest authority is the Supreme Lord. Is it that he is overriding his father, or is overlooking Brahma? But actually, if you see, Kadamuni, Brahma also said the same thing what the Supreme Lord said, right? You marry so that you can populate the world, so that there are more progeny and populate the world, right? So it's not that he is disobeying. It is falling in line with whatever the Lord's wishes and his immediate authority, that is Brahma's wishes also. But then, if we go into little more deeper, the highest authority is, of course, the Lord. Now, why is the Lord highest authority? Mataji, can you please scroll up a little above the translation? The purport, right? There, you see, Prabhupada says why, he talks about how we have unlimited, one second. Yeah, it says there are innumerable entities and they have innumerable demands. No one but Vishnu can fulfill the innumerable demands of all innumerable living entities. So ultimately, if you take the protector, sanctioner, protector, everything is the Lord, right? So if the authority, the immediate authority is a Krishna conscious person, then it will align us to whatever the Supreme Lord is also saying. So like now we just saw about Shukracharya, where though he was a guru, then it was not in line with what the Lord ordained, right? So, but here, even then, Kardamuni is saying that his highest authority is the unlimited Supreme Personality of Godhead, because innumerable entities and innumerable demands also, right? That's how he is saying he is following the Supreme Lord, and that's how he made that. He tells Swayambhu Manu that even though he agrees to marry Devahuti, that he will be with Devahuti until she begets a child, and then after that he is going to leave because that is what is actually the Lord's desire. So that is one aspect that we can see here, right? And then, yeah, the last paragraph of this purport, right? Anybody wants to read? This paragraph is worth reading. Srila Prabhupada is
Anita
saying a lot
Anita
of
Mataji,
things.
you can read. Anita Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Marrying and begetting, purport by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Marrying and begetting a child is considered to liquidate one's debts to the family in which one is born. There are many debts which are imposed upon a child just after his birth. There are debits to the family in which one is born, debits to the demigods, debits to the pitas, debits to the rishis, etc. But if someone engages only in the service of the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, who is actually worshipable, then even without trying to liquidate other debits, one becomes free from all obligations. Kardama Muni preferred to devote his life as a servant of the Lord in Paramahamsa knowledge and to beget a child only for that purpose, not to beget numberless children to fill up the vacancies in the universe. Right? So, very important aspect, debts. Why children are there, right? There are many debts which are imposed upon a child just after his birth, right? The family he is born into. See, the person, any person is alive until all the debts are finished. Debts to various people. We meet various people in various aspects of life. Then we take help, we give help, we are indebted to each other in so many ways. Now, how do we keep a track of all this? Whom we help, who helped us, and then how are we going to, clear all that? So until all that debt is there, either we finish it in this life, or we are coming back again to finish off all our debts with all the people that we have. So here it says, to the devatas, rishis, rishi runa, pitru runa, matra runa. In fact, it says each birth for a mother, the mother, because she feeds the child her breast milk, right? It takes 10,000 births to return that debt to the mother, to the biological mother. So imagine, I mean, like, that's how, when sometimes I used to wonder why they keep saying we have come, so many millions and millions of births. When I heard this aspect that one mother, we have to take 10,000 births to repay the debt of one single mother. So next time we come, then there is one more mother. Then, it goes handing. So that's how I said, oh my God, I mean, I don't know what that figure is, right? So that's how, in the Neka Yonigalalli Bandhu Bandhanante, I mean, with so many yonis we have come, and then debt to the devatas. Then here. So let's go to the root, because it is only because all the devatas, everything, we pray to Lord Vishnu or Krishna, then we are absolved of all the debts that we are entangled with in so many lifetimes, millions and millions of lifetimes. Otherwise, there is, otherwise it is just the chakra. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. We keep coming and we keep going, because each time, we are entangled with somebody or the other, and then we go on and on with it, right? So, in that aspect, here Srila Prabhupada is saying to liquidate one debt to the family in which one is born, right? So that is why, if you see this, people take this aspect of the Pitrurun, giving this prasadam to the Pitrus, either through Shraddha or in those 15 days. What is that? Paksha Mas comes, no? After Bhadrapada Mas, for 15 days, people are giving
Pitra Paksha.
Pitra Paksha.
Pitra Paksha.
Yeah. So Otherwise, you have a lot of Pitrun and all that, right? So that is what Srila Prabhupada is trying to tell here and trying to enlighten us how an impossible task that is, almost an impossible task. Here Prabhupada says, etc. Demigod, dead to Pitas, dead to Rishis, etc. Right? See, even if you just take, let's take an example of demigods. How many demigods are there?
33 crore, Mataji.
33 crore. 33 crore. Okay. Now forget returning the debts to the demigods. How many demigods names do we know? At the
5 to
most.
6.
Maximum, if you
Few, Mataji, few.
Very few, Mataji.
So we don't even know the names of the demigods, let alone, right? Returning their debts. So you see how, I'm saying how indebted we are to Srila Prabhupada. Because Srila Prabhupada is taking us out of all these debts, which is unimaginable, just by a stroke of, just by one stroke of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Which is definitely, more doable than the aspect of finding out and giving debts, returning debts to people. Before I conclude today's this thing, I would like to just share this. Actually, my mother-in-law, 2 years ago, when she fell ill and then she was bedridden, and then it so happened she started for 1 week before she passed away. She took quarter glass of water. That's all she was taking, and then we could see she was deteriorating, really deteriorating. She had shrunk. People who saw her earlier and then they were literally shaken. And then, but then it is this scenario of the person is neither dead nor alive. And it is very difficult to see such a scenario, like not eating, but then the life is there. Then in another class that I was doing, there was this other Mataji who shared with me that her guru mentioned that such things happen when there are some debts to people which is not finished. And that's how the soul is not leaving the body, especially during the end time. So she said, you must play the Gajendra Moksha every day for her. And then I played that, and then in a week, I used to listen to it every day. I used to say it. She said, no, you play it for her, on behalf of her, for her, say, chant that. So then I saw that when I played that Gajendra Moksha prayers, that in a week, after a week, she passed away. She left her body. And it so happened one another devotee mentioned about her mother-in-law. We were cooking in the temple, making Rajbhog. She also mentioned, my mother-in-law is 90 years and then she's struggling and all this. So this was afternoon, 12 o'clock. We finish and then have prasadam and then we go. And then I told her the same thing. See, this is what I heard and I played it for mother-in-law. It helped. Because especially during end times when people are struggling, this can help, right? I told her at 12 o'clock, and then that mother-in-law was bedridden, too bedridden, and she was 90 plus and then old and all that. She calls me back in 1 hour and said, Mataji, thank you for these prayers. My mother-in-law left her body. She said, oh my God, this is too instant. I'm sharing this so that, if there are instances where we find people who are bedridden, we can play these prayers, watch shlokas today. Yeah. We can play this Gajendra Moksha prayers to help the soul, to the soul peacefully. Yeah. So Gajendra Moksha prayers are also very powerful, and then people do chant that every day. So I thought I'd just share with that because this aspect of debts that came here. So with that, I'm closing the class today. Thank you all very much for this opportunity of seva, which is super purifying for myself. I take it as a seva so that it is really purification for me. and then it is definitely with lot of what to say, self-improvement. So I seek all your blessings so that I can do the seva little more diligently to please my Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Radhika here, and can I just take 1 second?
Yes, Mataji, please.
Mataji, just a couple of things. One is Gajendra Moksha prayers. Why particularly that prayer, Mataji? That is one. And second doubt I have is, Mother, you told 10,000 births we need to retake. So where do you, where do we get to know all this, Mother? I mean, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I
Mataji,
heard it in
we can't hear you.
one of the acharyas in one lecture.
Sure.
I mean, I don't think I can answer that question.
That's okay, Mataji.
Because milk actually, no, the milk actually is the blood that is the mother is giving.
Got it.
Right? And it's her part of the body. You see, there was another way of looking at one acharya was saying, just tie one 3 kg bag into your stomach and walk around.
Yeah.
For half a day or 1 hour. The mother carries us for 9 months. So it says almost, that is why even sannyasis, even though they don't bow down to anybody else, right? But then they bow down to their Purvashrama mother. The sannyasis bow down to their Purvashrama mother. So that is the, I mean, that is how much, you know, very, almost impossible. Other than Casey, it's impossible to repay the debt of a mother, is what I have heard from various acharyas. Okay.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. It was a wonderful class. Very, very practical. Devotees, anybody has any more questions? Then you can raise your hand so that Mataji can help us. Hare Krishna. There are no raised hands.
Mataji, second one is that Gajendra Moksha prayer I was asking, right? Why particularly that is significant? Because the elephant left the age. Is that the reason?
Moksha, yeah, the prayers itself says as Gajendra Moksha prayers. So, I mean, maybe even I have to find out why exactly those prayers. But then I have heard many people saying that Gajendra Moksha prayers is helpful for all this. Yeah.
Sure.
1 second. Today's shlokas covered was 3.22.18-20. Subbarao Prabhu was asking.
Hare Krishna. Krishnamurti Prabhu, you can ask your question.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams Mataji. Mataji, I want Gajendra Moksha scripture in Kannada version.
Gajendra Moksha prayers in Kannada?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, I will share it with
Mataji, I will share it, Mataji, to Krishnamurti Prabhu. Thank you, Mataji.
And then, Gajendra Moksha prayers in the 8th canto, chapter 3, 2-49 shlokas.
Mataji, which canto?
8th canto.
8th
canto.
Chapter? No. 3.
Chapter 3, shloka 2-49.
2-49.
Yes.
So I have got Bhagavatam. I will search, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you for your association, Mataji. Can we do the prayers and end the session? Hare Krishna. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasinubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo
Namo Namah.
Anantakoti Vaishnavrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
I end the session, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.